What's up everyone? Welcome back to Throwbacks Week right here on ARTV. I gotta start off this review with an apology. An apology for the first review I did of this album, El Camino by the Black Keys. Oh my god, I look back at that. It was an album that I really liked at the time, and it's an album that I still really like, but I didn't convey that in really any way. In fact, I really dropped the ball completely. I put out like a 2 or 3 minute review of it, and I just sat there and talked about favorite and least favorite tracks and didn't even give any detail. What were you thinking, John? John from 5 years ago, I hate you.
Run Right Back, Moneymaker, those are among my favorites on the album. The whole album is great. So let's go ahead and go on to the replay factor.
Let's rewind back to 2011, and the Black Keys are this garage rock, bluesy rock band that are blowing up. Their album Brothers that came out in 2010 was a smash, but the band felt like they just didn't have a good energy whenever they were playing the songs live, and they weren't able to do so, really get the crowd involved, so they wrote an album that had a bunch of upbeat stuff on it. And of course, you guys probably know if you watch my channel, I am a huge fan of Brian Burton, the producer, aka Danger Mouse. He's one half of Gnarls Barkley. He produced my favorite record of 2013, Evil Friends by Portugal the Man. I just really feel like he's got a great knack for taking a band that's got a lot of great stuff going on, but then he takes them to the next level. I mean, hell, we saw it just this year with The Getaway by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Earlier in 2016, I did list the Black Keys on an episode of 7 on Sunday on bands that I outgrew, but like I said in that video, I don't completely hate or dislike these bands by any means. It's just that I don't find myself coming back to their material all that much. But with the Black Keys, El Camino is a big asterisk right there. It's like one that's like, okay, I don't listen to that much Black Keys except for El Camino, because anytime you throw this album on, I am dancing, swinging, moving, singing, everything. It just feels good. It feels right when you're listening to it. Just right off the bat, you got that lead single, the first track on El Camino, Lonely Boy. I don't see how you could not smile whenever you're listening to that sultry guitar line. They add in those keys from Brian Burton there. It's just an all-encompassing song that hits all of the right points, and you find yourself singing along to this song about a broken-hearted lover who has been left alone, and he's very bitter about it, but at the same time, the song is so fun you almost don't even pay attention to those lyrics. The Black Keys of the past just really didn't catch my attention that much. I didn't find it to be that interesting, and in fact, a lot of the time I was kind of bored of the tedious material. It was just a lot of that straightforward kind of bluesy, just guitar, vocals, and drums stuff. There was no bass in the material at all, which felt like it was lacking, obviously. And then we got Brian Burton in the picture with Brothers, and obviously El Camino as well. That's where things started getting really fascinating to me. And obviously, I feel like the members of this band are very talented, but here is where they really found their creative stride. They just went in, punched out 11 super catchy songs, ones that have a feel-good vibe to them, even though there is a little bit of regret in the lyrical content, and obviously he's trying to get over some stuff, put some stuff in the past, like Sister, for example, is one. Like Sister, what have I done with you? What do I do? Where do I go from here? And it's one that has just this really catchy guitar melody going in the background, so you almost kind of get distracted by that, and I like how they kind of contrast the melancholy themes with the more upbeat and surrounding instrumentals. The big singles on this record are absolutely fantastic. I understand why this album took off for them. I mean, hell, this record sold over 205,000 copies in the United States its first week, and that is unheard of for a band of this genre and this style. They were really taking off at the end of 2011 there. It was a December release, but still, even though it was kind of a dead zone, they managed to succeed commercially, and for good reason, with singles like Lonely Boy, which I already mentioned, the fantastic Little Black Submarines, which starts off very slow, but really works its way into your heart. It's kind of a downtrodden song, but it adds in that shrieking guitar line, and it really just takes off as it starts thrashing about with the drums as well. Dan Auerbach gets a lot more aggressive on the vocals, especially as we get to that guitar part, and it really just all comes to a big climax, and it is a blast to listen to, ladies and gentlemen. That and Gold on the Ceiling is another one that I've been holding on to for years. It's got a big synth part on it, and the guitars are very crunchy as well. It's something that's really just earwormy. You sing along every time it comes on, and you don't even feel guilty about it. Dead and Gone is another huge favorite of mine. That's one that's really just been pleasant on the eardrums for years now, and I keep coming back to it. It's kind of got this thumping, stomp, clap, drum rhythm to it, and obviously the guitar on it is really interesting to me as well. But the biggest allure to this track is the vocals from Dan on this one. I love it. All throughout, he does a great job, and not just on this song, but really the entire album. The whole na na whoa, I go anywhere you go. It gets stuck inside of your head, and he does moments like that not only on this one, but on like Nova Baby as well, another favorite of mine. Hell of a Season. It's got a big build to it and a big payoff. It's got a great chorus. That's what they did right on this album. They wrote big hooks, big guitars, big keys, big drums. Everything about it just was made for the stadium. This is definitely an album's album. These tracks feel very kin to each other, very alike in places, but they have a unique identity about them. It's just that they feel like they were definitely crafted by these guys, banging them out in the studio at the same time, not recorded years apart or anything like that. And you can see with tracks like number 9, Stop Stop. That one, I love the vocals on that one, by the way, how he hits those higher registers with the yeah. And that one, in addition to track number 5, Moneymaker. I think the drum pacing on that one, and even the guitars, the way that they're styled on both of those tracks, really line up quite well, and you can definitely tell that they fit in with the flow of the album. Oh, can you guys tell that I love this album? It's getting so hot in here, the lights, I swear to God, I gotta stop filming videos back to back with the heat on. I love this record. El Camino is fantastic. The Black Keys on their 7th LP, I have to go with a 4.5 out of 5. If you guys have never heard it, unfortunately it's not on Spotify, it is on Apple Music, and of course you can buy it on iTunes or else in stores somewhere. If you've never heard the full album, I highly recommend it. Leave your thoughts on El Camino 5 years later in the comments, smash the like button while you're here, subscribe to the channel because friends don't let friends go unsubscribed. You can find me on social media, linked in the description, and right here, Turn Blue review, or click right here if you would like to see another throwback. Other than that, I'll see you very soon right here on ARTV.